My classmate died. This morning when I woke up, I saw there was a message through my class group chat, and it said that my classmate, her name is Judith, that she lives, present tense, she lives next door to my other classmate's brother-in-law, and that we can all chip in to send her family a bouquet of flowers. And there was nothing more. I didn't know what happened. I was like, what's happening? It says she lives, so she's still alive. She lives there, yeah. And maybe she just got sick, ill at hospital. So I was just like, what's going on? You know? That's what I was thinking. And yeah, all my other classmates were like, okay, yeah, let's chip in money. So I messaged other classmates privately, and I was like, what's going on? Because just a little background, I put a pause in school, and I left Ireland. I left the country that I was doing school in, and now I'm in Australia, doing my own adventure. Just put a pause in school, so I'm kind of out of the loop with everyone there. I'm not really in contact. And one of my classmates replied back and said that she passed away on Wednesday, and that on Thursday they were told, but no one knows what happened. But yeah, I just want to say that I was the type of student who ditched school all the time. I only went to the really mandatory classes where they took down your name, where you really had to show up, okay? That's the only way of learning, is if you show up to class, like if it was a practical, like a lab or something. Most other classes I just didn't go, or if it was about exams, I'd come in and, you know, take all the important stuff. But otherwise, I just kind of taught myself at home. And so every time, if I even went to school, she was the only person. Judith was the only person that I actually spoke to. Judith was always smiling. She was kind of laughing, but not in a like extroverted way. She was a bit socially awkward, and we knew about this. Everyone knows about this, and she would just laugh about it. And so yeah, she had like really nice teeth, but she was insecure of her teeth, and I was too. Okay, well, I just want to say that Judith was the person that I only hung out with in school. And it's so sad because I didn't hang with anyone else if I even went to school. I didn't. And we weren't even close. That was the thing. Because I hardly showed up in school. And we were the type of friends. I don't even want to call myself a friend, because I think I was such a bad friend to her. Because I feel like I wasn't there for her. Her last message, I didn't reply. So yeah, we were the type of friends, classmates, that, you know, we didn't have to check in all the time. We didn't have to be messaging each other, going back and forth all the time. It's like when I showed up to school, she was ready to talk to me, to be with me, and likewise. And I think back to all my like school memories, and every interaction I had with her was special, and I remember everything. I literally do. Not that, kind of because I didn't go to school much, literally, but every interaction I had with her, I literally remember. I remember like how she would laugh in class in the most awkward moments, because we have to be serious, and you know, she'd get in trouble for that. I remember how we'd go to Subway to get sandwiches, and we'd sit outside. We did that in first year and second year. I still have the pictures. I remember in placements, we waited for each other after we finished, and it was her idea. She wanted to go to the pharmacy to check out the BMI machine, and I was like, yeah, let's go. And she paid for me, I remember. And when we got the results, she was so surprised, because she looked like so much skinnier than me, but her body fat was higher than mine, and she wanted to know like what I was doing with like bike, exercise, and what I ate, because another thing was that she was a really picky eater. So she wanted to get better, and because of what our subject is, nursing, like what we studied, it's important, you know, we learn about health and stuff and nutrition. So yeah, she wanted to know more about me. I actually even showed her how to ride a bike. She's never ridden a bike, and I remember it was my gray Trek bike, and she was scared, and I was like, you don't need to be scared. She got on a little bit, but she didn't go much further because, you know, she didn't have her own bike. I remember always asking her if she ate, because she didn't eat much. I remember what she would eat was like these rich tea biscuits, if you know, in Ireland, like these bland biscuits, or like custard creams, and that's what she would eat. And yeah, she said she was picky, so I always told her, you know, just experiment with other foods, just try different foods. And I remember she made comments about my ketchup bread, because I literally brought, you know, just bread and ketchup to class, and I would eat it during class even, and she was like, ew. And I was like, it's really good. I remember one time I brought her these like peanuts protein bars, and she didn't like it at all. She didn't even want to try it, and I remember feeling so offended, because I just wanted to care about her. And I was just like, I was just thinking deep down, like, oh, she's so unappreciative, but, you know, picky eaters. I remember I got her a little teddy that turns into a blanket from Miniso, because we went there on Halloween in our first year. On Halloween, during that like Halloween period, we went to this shop called Miniso, where there's like loads of cute things. And at that time I kind of had like a boy crush, and I told her about it, and I brought her to meet him, and I asked her, you know, what you think of him, da da da. Yeah, I remember going back to the shop and getting her that white teddy blanket, and I remember I skipped school that day. I missed all my classes, but I still went in just to give her that. I remember, and she was so shocked, and she was like, oh, when's your birthday, because I have to return the favor. And I was like, don't worry about it, like, it's not important. I remember going to this Christian thing, because she was very into Christianity and things like that, and she brought me to Living Stones. It was during like a Christmas thing, and we were wrapping shoe boxes for the shoebox appeal. And I was doing a little time lapse there of us like wrapping the shoe boxes, and she took a video of me. I remember her laugh, her awkward laugh. I remember she wanted to get a belly button piercing with me, and she asked me to go with her, but I remember like thinking, no, I don't want to get a belly button piercing, because what if I get pregnant? It's gonna stretch. And she was like, don't worry about it. And to think that she's gone now, and she's never gonna be a mom. I remember her saying that she wanted to be a mom before, and now like she got the belly button piercing. She went alone, and she never has to worry about her belly button getting like stretched because of her belly button piercing. That is so sad. And like I cried so much earlier, because I literally didn't know what was going on, like, because then the following like messages from my classmates were, you guys can get in touch with the school chaplain. So I was like, did she pass away? I'm so confused. And then so my mind was just racing. I didn't know, and I didn't message her. I just went back to our chat, and I freaking hated myself, because I realized I was such a bad friend. And I think it was suicide. I'm not sure, guys. I don't want to be like rude, but I don't know if it was suicide. but I think it could be. Because now that I think back, maybe she was so into religion because she needed help. You know, people go into religion because they need something to believe in. They need hope. But then another part of me was thinking, but if she believed in God so much, maybe she appreciated life so much, she wouldn't have taken her own life. So I still don't know now. I can only think, and I'm thinking like, I don't know if it's better that she took her own life or like that she got into some accident. And I'm thinking maybe the accident, I kind of wish she got into a quick accident where she would have just died, because if she was like, she wanted to take her own life, she would have felt so lonely and sad in that moment. And then the fact that I didn't message her back when she asked me, because we were doing like just check-ins, but we just messaged whenever we wanted. We had like huge gaps between our messages, and the last one was last year, like before summer even, and the last thing she asked me was, are you taking a gap year? And I never responded to her. Like, Judith, yes, I am on a gap year. I'm sorry I didn't reply. I went back to our chats all the time and I reread it, but I never thought that like this day would come. I never thought that you, of all people, would be the one to like pass away in my life, because like, what are the coincidences? What are the chances? So I never responded because I thought maybe you didn't really care, or it wasn't that special. I wanted, you know? So I never responded, but I did check back. I'm the type of person who reads all the messages, and I read all the messages, but I don't always respond. So I feel like the lesson I've learned here, having met Judith in my life, is that like to take action when I see things and when people try to talk to me, to just respond back, even if it's something that I don't want to talk about, like my parents or something, or my sisters, if they give me like they talk about me, trying to tell me the way I live or something, like at least acknowledge it for them. And I feel so bad. I don't think I can ever forget this. I don't think I can like forgive myself. Because if I gave her an opportunity, if I actually responded to her and I asked her how she was and like checked in on her more often and things like that, maybe this wouldn't have happened. And I feel so awful because I know the type of person she was. Yeah, talking about the teeth, like, it was at the start of the year before I got like my own Invisalign retainers and stuff, and I asked her, do you think I should get it? And she was like, you have really nice teeth, you can get it if you want. And I did get it. And also she wore contacts and she wore glasses, and I remember her telling me how she saves money on contacts was that she just wears one eye at a time. And yeah, I was asking her for advice on getting contacts, because I hadn't got contacts yet. So I got contacts for myself. So like, so much of my life has changed during meeting her for those 2 school years that I knew of her. And, you know, all the like boy problems and like, not boy problems, but she knew about my boy stuff. She met them. And she sent me playlists of like Christian music, and I looked at the chat and I sent her some too. I forgot about them and I was just listening to them, and I don't really have anyone to talk to, even like my classmates, to talk about this, because we were so like quiet, me and her, just naturally quiet in class. Like, we were talking normally fine outside of class, but during class we were just quiet. We just shut up and we just listen, you know, take notes, be serious. And I just want to say, like, this is the first person, Judith is the first person that has passed away in my life that, you know, has a special place that I can actually think back on. Like, when I was a kid, I had a ballet teacher who was murdered, and I had a neighbor who died, but I didn't know those people really, you know. I was too young of a child to create this connection, this relationship with them. I feel like, yeah, I just didn't know them that well. And I didn't even know Judith that well. That's the thing. Anyways, guys, this is a really long video. I just wanted to rant, and I'm just so sad because I hate having to say goodbye to people, but it kind of hurts that I didn't even get to say goodbye. Yeah, there's just other coincidences, because when I was hanging out with her, she also knew, like, my friend's friend, and it was just like, oh my god, you know her? Like, it was just, everything is just, like, now I look back, like, she was definitely meant to be in my life, and she definitely taught me the lessons I need to learn. I think there's even more, but the take-home lesson that, like, of her in my life, I would say, is to not dismiss people and to always check out for people. Some people, like, you know, they might be studying some course that is very into mental health. I remember we were talking about our placements of mental health going to school, like mental health, and she was her specialty was like about anxiety and depression. And you know, if you're a student, you're a nurse, like, you're working with patients that are dealing with anxiety and depression, you should know how to deal with it yourself. But you know, people can still deal with anxiety and depression. So just because you're a doctor, you're a nurse, or you're a therapist, like, you can still go through things, and we still need to check up on people, check up on those people. Yeah, well, I still don't know what really happened, but still, I should have checked up on her. I should have messaged her back. And she's so young. I mean, I had, like, so many similarities, because she also moved. And the sad thing is, I don't know. I can't really, like, message anyone, because I don't know who can, like, to know more about the situation. Like, everything is just, my mind can only just decide, like, I can only, like, predict or, like, think what happened. I don't know. Like, but yeah. Anyways, this is a video. Judith was a nice girl. She was a sweet girl. And you know, they always say those things about people, but she was. She was always there for me. Like, when I showed up to school, like, she encouraged me to come to school. But she was never, like, nagging. She wasn't, like, a bad friend to me. She was never, like, trying to put me down in my ways. Like, if I skipped school to go to badminton, to go to sport or other things, she would just be there. She would, and she liked going to the vet library. She brought me to the vet library, because the vet library was really good and really quiet, and we loved like the ambience in there. It was like orange dim lights, like orange lights. It wasn't like a bright white light, and we would just go there and sit separately and do our own thing. Even if I'd skipped school all day, I just went to just be with her for a little bit, and like assignments and stuff, because I didn't go to school. I just asked her, like, oh, what did the teacher say, like this, and she always helped me. Yeah. So all, like, the previous, like, pictures, I have some pictures on my Instagram and stuff. She was the only person I really hung out with. On my other phone, which is all the way back in Ireland, and yeah, my stuff are there. I remember like Chris Kindle, we were doing like Secret Santa, and we were just sitting on the floor like this, and I put my head on her shoulder, and in front was like the glass, and I took like a picture. Yeah, I remember I was always taking pictures of us, because, you know, we were the only ones that really hung out. And I remember I took a picture, and she had her hand out like this, and she was laughing because she didn't want me to take the picture. And I sent it to her, and she was like, please, please don't send this picture anywhere. And I was like, don't worry, I won't. She liked the comment. It was just a funny picture. Yeah. And I remember I was wearing my headband, and we were on like the bench outside. It was like a wooden bench, like squirrel bench, do you know what I mean? And we're opposite each other eating. And I always got her to, I introduced her to Subway, actually. And I got her to download the app Subsquat, so we could like get points and like get deals and stuff. And so she, even though she like ate very little, I always got her to get the 12-inch, and she did, so that she could eat it later, and she actually liked it. And sometimes she would even go herself to Subway without me when I didn't go to school. So yeah, we both were like known as like kind of the quiet kids. But, you know, I'm not really quiet, and neither was she. She just had to be the right person to talk. And you guys know I'm not a quiet person. But, yeah, I still hung out with her because she was just a nice person. And, you know, I'm really selective with who I hung out with, so that says a lot about who Judith was. I will think about this all the time, because this is, like, genuinely the first person that like has actually passed away, and I can't even imagine how I'm gonna be when like someone in my family dies, or like my pet, like, because I've known them for so long and we have more history. Like, again, me and Judith, we weren't even close. We weren't even that close. Like, I don't even remember exactly what her birthday is. I think it's in December, but I don't even remember the exact date. I think 18th. I'm not sure. I don't even know, but she still had the impact. And this is why I feel like such a shit friend. But yeah, if you guys, I don't know if it was suicide or something, but if you guys are struggling out there and you are alone and there's no one that you want to reach out to, or no one that you can reach out to, please hold on. You just have yourself, and this is why you need to be strong, okay? Everything gets better. No matter what you are going through, it always ends, okay? It does. It seems like nothing changes and nothing ends, and that you're just sad all the time, and you're just in pain, and whatever you're going through, people are treating you like crap. Because I know how nursing can be, and I know she would have gotten targeted, because I was, so I can only imagine her. Remember us talking about it. if people in your workplace or your classmates are like mean to you, or you feel like there's just something wrong with you, because I remember she told me that she felt like something's wrong with her because she had like social anxiety and she was just awkward and stuff like that. Like, there's nothing wrong with you. You don't need to take your own life. There's nothing wrong with you, okay? You can be quiet. You can keep to yourself. That's okay. You can laugh at the wrong times, okay? If that's you, then that's you, okay? You don't need to take your own life for it. There's nothing wrong with you. And if you were skinny, if your bones stick out, I remember her telling me that my bone sticks out, or my butt, she said her butt hurts so much when she sits down because she's so skinny. But she was just a picky eater, that's it. But there's nothing wrong with you. Taking your own life is not the solution to anything. You just need to stick it out. I never told her that, I'm doing social media now. I make videos online. I never told her. I didn't even reply to her that I was taking gap year. So she probably just went back to school and never saw my face again. And she wasn't on social media or Instagram and stuff like that. She was very private because I remember her telling me she wanted to focus on school a lot and focus on religion. And she didn't want to be distracted. And so I don't, yeah. It's not the solution, guys. Stick it out. Stick it out. It will freaking end. Everything you've gone through in life, you're gonna overcome it more. Okay? You've overcome everything you thought you couldn't overcome. You will overcome the next thing. Okay? Even though it seems like impossible. Okay? And I just feel like she would have been bullied. Like, it would have been easy target, I feel like. And yeah, so I want to talk about a bit about bullying. Like, just don't fucking care about anyone, what people think about you. All you need to care is about what you think about yourself, okay? And you need to think positively about yourself, okay? You are important, you are valuable, you are getting better, you are where you are meant to be in life. You are fine. There's nothing wrong with you. I know there's so many people out there that are probably thinking there's something wrong with them and that they're not good enough, they look weird or something like that. There's nothing wrong with you, okay? Love yourself first. Love yourself. That's your only job in the world. Love yourself, okay? First job, number 1, love yourself. Love yourself so other people can love you, and that you can be kind to other people. You be kind to yourself first, okay? This goes back to my message, live to inspire and inspire to live. So yeah, I didn't tell her about my social media. So I maybe if she saw my social media and like my messages and stuff and heard me talk, if I even responded to her, maybe things would have been different. Because my whole message is live to inspire and inspire to live, and to be kind to yourself, be kind to other people, be kind to animals, be kind to the environment. It's just why. Anyways, this was quite a long video. Glad I got it off my chest, and yeah, that happened today. And today I've just been taking it slow. My first time grieving a person like this. If you guys have similar stories or any advice for me on bereavements and stuff, or advice for anyone out there, or if you need someone to talk, just write it in the comments. Write it, just get it out somewhere. I read everything. That's the thing. Now, all the comments I can't get back to all the time, but just know that you are heard. I see you. I read your stuff. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. Okay? Thanks so much for watching, and thank you for listening to my little rant. And Judith, you will be missed, and I will think about you for the rest of my life. And I'm sorry that I didn't get to.
I didn't, not that I didn't get to. I'm just sorry that I didn't respond back to you. And yeah, I am on a gap year.